Karen's laugh echoed through the pines, sharp and smug, like a hyena claiming victory over a carcass. She tossed another soda can into the underbrush, her sister Darlene giggling beside her, as if littering a national park was high comedy. The Smoky Mountain air was crisp, but the sisters' presence soured it. Karen, her floral dress straining at the seams, sneered at the campsite across the clearing. "Look at those Hicks," she muttered, loud enough for the wind to carry. "Bet they don't even have Wi-Fi." Darlene, a carbon copy of Karen's arrogance, but slimmer, nodded, snapping a selfie with the littered ground in the background. Their rented cabin, a cedar gym nestled among towering trees, stood just beyond a luxury they'd bragged about on social media for weeks. But their weekend getaway was about to unravel in ways their inflated egos couldn't fathom. The trouble started when Jake, a local camper in a faded flannel shirt, noticed the trash. He'd been splitting wood for his fire, his calloused hands steady on the axe, when he saw the sisters litter plastic bags, chip packets, and half-eaten sandwiches strewn across the pristine forest floor. Jake wasn't one for confrontation, but this was his home, these mountains his sanctuary. He approached, his boots crunching on pine needles. "Ma'am, you can't just dump trash here," he said, voice calm but firm. "There's a bin by the ranger station." Karen spun around, her face a mask of indignation. "Excuse me? Do I look like I work for you?" Her voice dripped with disdain, her chins wobbling as she jabbed a manicured finger at him. "This is a free country, and I'll do what I want." Darlene chimed in, mocking Jake's accent. "Go back to your little shack, hillbilly." The sisters cackled, oblivious to the campers nearby who'd started to stare. Jake's jaw tightened, but he held his ground. "Just clean it up, or I'll get the ranger." That was the spark. Karen's eyes narrowed, and she pulled out her phone, dialing 911 with theatrical flair. "Yes, hello, officer. There's a creepy man harassing us in the woods," she lied, her voice a syrupy mix of fake panic and glee. Darlene smirked, filming the scene for her followers, already crafting hashtags like mountain drama and Karen saves the day. Within minutes, the distant wail of a siren cut through the forest, and Ranger Martinez arrived, his pickup kicking up dust. A no-nonsense man with a weathered face, he stepped out, flashlight in hand, scanning the scene. The sisters, now playing victims, pointed at Jake, who stood silently, arms crossed, surrounded by their trash. "He threatened us," Karen shrieked, clutching her purse like a shield. "He's probably some kind of poacher." Darlene nodded, her phone still rolling. Martinez, unimpressed, raised an eyebrow. "Threatened you, huh?" He turned to Jake, who explained the littering calmly, pointing to the evidence scattered across the ground. The ranger's gaze hardened as he surveyed the mess. "Ladies, littering's a crime here. Fines start at $500, and that's before we talk about environmental damage." Karen's face flushed red, her superiority crumbling. "Do you know who I am?" she snapped. "I'm a paying tourist. You should be thanking me." The ranger didn't flinch. "Ma'am, I don't care if you're the Queen of England. You're cleaning this up, or you're getting cited." The sisters scoffed, but Martinez was already radioing for backup. The campers nearby, now a small crowd, murmured in approval. Karen, sensing her audience slipping, doubled down. "This is outrageous. I'm calling my lawyer," she bellowed, stomping toward their cabin. Darlene followed, muttering about small-town corruption. They slammed the door, leaving the trash behind, convinced their tantrum had won the day. But nature had other plans. That night, a black bear, drawn by the scent of Karen's carelessly discarded food, lumbered into the campsite. The sisters, oblivious inside their cabin, were blasting music and sipping wine, unaware of the chaos brewing outside. The bear, a massive creature with matted fur, tore into the trash, scattering it further. It found their cooler left unsecured on the porch and ripped it open, sending plastic and leftovers flying. The noise was deafening, crashing metal, splintering wood, and the bear's low growls. Jake, alerted by the commotion, grabbed his flashlight and ran to the ranger station, waking Martinez. By the time the ranger arrived, the scene was a disaster. The bear had moved on, But the sisters' porch was a war zone, trash everywhere, the cooler in pieces, and claw marks gouged into the cabin's door. Karen burst outside, screaming, "My vacation is ruined." Darlene, still filming, shrieked about suing the park. Martinez, flashlight sweeping the wreckage, had had enough. "You left food out. You attracted that bear," he said, voice like steel. "That's another violation, endangering wildlife." He pointed to the claw marks. "And you're liable for the damage to park property." Karen's bravado faltered. "This is the bear's fault," she sputtered. Martinez shook his head. "No, ma'am. It's yours." He pulled out his citation book, scribbling furiously. The fines piled up: littering, improper food storage, property damage. The sisters' protests grew shrill, but the ranger was unmoved. Jake, watching from a distance, couldn't hide a small smile. The campers, now gathered, whispered among themselves, their respect for the forest stand for justice renewed. The next morning, the sisters' downfall was complete. As they packed their SUV under Martinez's watchful eye, a sheriff's deputy arrived, summoned by the ranger's report. Karen's 911 call, recorded and reviewed, revealed her lies about Jake. False reporting was a misdemeanor, and the deputy wasn't in the mood for excuses. "You're under arrest," he said, cuffing Karen as Darlene gasped, her phone finally off. The campers clapped as the sisters were led away, their smugness replaced by panic. The cabin, now a symbol of their recklessness, stood quiet, its porch still littered with the bear's handiwork. Jake stayed behind, helping Martinez clean up. "Some people think they own the world," Jake said, tossing a torn bag into a bin. Martinez nodded. "Nature's got a way of humbling them." The forest, indifferent to the sisters' drama, stretched on, its beauty untouched by their arrogance. The campers returned to their fires, sharing stories of the night, their laughter mingling with the rustle of leaves. Karen and Darlene, meanwhile, faced a long drive to the county jail, their vacation a bitter lesson in accountability. The mountains didn't care about their excuses. They never do. The sisters had come to conquer, to flaunt their privilege, but they left in disgrace, their names a cautionary tale whispered among the pines. Respect the land, or it will bite back, sometimes with claws, sometimes with cuffs. The end.